What's up guys, it's Robyn and welcome to the Robyn's Nest. So I am very excited to share today's cake with you guys. It is my little guy's birthday and he's requested a cake from the animated Disney series, The Owl House. So I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but it is so funny. My family loves it and there is an adorable little character in it named King. Now he is a little demon boy, but he has the body of sort of like a cat, and he has like a little skull face that looks kind of like a dragon, and he has two little hoofed toes on each foot and a little fluffy tail. He is so cute. So we're going to attempt to make him today. Wish me luck. Let's get into it. So for today's cake, I'm using 3 6-inch red velvet cake layers, and as you guys can see, these are a little bit thicker than I normally use. I doubled up the recipe because we're going to be making a cake a little bit on the tall side that we're going to carve down a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is level these two out. We don't have to do the third one because we can use that one on the top, and that might even save us from carving a little bit in the end. And then once I level those out, we're going to tort each one of our layers into about 3 separate layers each. Alright, time to stack and fill our layers. So the first thing we're going to do is add a little bit of icing to our cake board, and this is going to be the glue for our cake to stick to. Then we're going to add our first layer, press that into place, and then we're going to stack and fill with a little bit of icing in between each layer until we've reached a size that I'm about happy with for the size of the body. Then we're going to add some supports inside, and I'm just using some wooden skewers and a small cake card, and that's going to go in the middle of the cake, and that's going to help support the weight of the head when we add the horns later on, because I think they might be a little bit heavy. So I'm going to start stacking and filling these, get the supports into place, and then I'm going to grab my knife and we're going to start carving. Alright, so I think I've reached a point where I'm happy with the size, and I actually have a layer left which we're going to save, and I may use that to help me form the legs and whatnot down the road, but we'll see how that one goes. I might just use fondant for that. But now that we finished stacking and filling, I want this to really be secure and solid when I'm doing the carving. So we're going to pop it into the freezer for about a half hour or so and let this firm up really, really well, so that way when we carve it, it doesn't all fall apart on us. So I also want to mention that I've added a skewer all the way down through the center of our cake, right down through all the layers and into my cake board as well, and that's also going to help hold everything into place. So we're going to get this off to the fridge, and when we come back we'll start carving. Alright, our cake has been chilled and it is firmed up nicely, so it's ready for some carving. So I want to show you guys the reference picture that I found that we're going to be using, and isn't that absolutely adorable? I thought it would simplify things to make him in a sitting position, and we're not going to be making his head kind of tilted because I'm not that talented just yet. So we're just going to focus for now on the shape of the body, the front arms, and the shape of the head. So I'm going to get that carved, and then when we come back we can start our crumb coat. Alright, there's our carving so far, and I think it looks really cool. Now you guys can see I did the little notches around the bottom that is his fur. Now I'm not sure how easy those are going to be to cover with fondant, so I may end up just cutting those off altogether. We'll have to see down the road how this works, but for now we're just going to start our crumb coat, and I'm just going to be using a couple of different tools to apply it. Now I'm going to be using my offset spatula, but I also have some small flexible plastic smoothers here, and these are really great for smoothing out the rounded edges and getting into all those hard to reach nooks and crannies. So we're just going to use the rest of our white buttercream and get this covered up. Alright guys, there is our crumb coat so far, and if you guys are interested in my buttercream recipe, I will link that in the eye up above or down in the description box below, so it's easy for you guys to find. So I think he turned out pretty good so far. I think he looks really cute. He's a little pudgier than he's supposed to be, but that's okay. He's full of cake. He is still cute. So I think the next step that we're going to take is I need to form his back legs, and we're going to make that, I think, out of cake pop mixture. And then we're going to give those a little tiny crumb coat, and then we're going to get this guy off into the fridge for a good 30 to 45 minutes to allow him to firm up so we can start getting him covered in fondant. Alrighty, so he is fully chilled and it is time to get this guy covered in some fondant. So the first thing I want to point out is that, as you guys can see, I went ahead and made his tail as well out of cake pop mixture, but I wanted to let that sit in the fridge for a few minutes before I crumb coated it, so that way I can handle it a little bit better and cover it in fondant, and then we'll stick it on the back once I get the body covered. So we're going to start with the body first, and I'm going to be using my darkest gray, and we're going to focus on just the body and the front arms, and then we'll move on to the side legs and then the tail. And we'll also do the light gray as well. Alright, so I finished his body and I think that looks super cute. I went ahead and added all his little toes and the little pads on the bottom of his feet, and I finished the tail too, which we're going to add once everything is completed. So the next thing we're going to work on is the little frill around the bottom of his face. Now, if I can't get this to work, I'm just going to lop those off and I'm going to shape it out of fondant and apply that to the cake. But I think I have an idea and hopefully it works. So we're going to roll out a long strip, long enough to wrap around the head, and I'm gently going to fit that into place. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so that part went on really easy. I was actually really surprised. Now, it took a little bit extra work in the carving of the cake and in the icing of the cake, but that part actually went on really smoothly. Now, I don't know if I would recommend it. It might actually be easier to shape a piece of fondant and then stick it on. So that's something that you guys would have to decide for yourselves. But I think this turned out really cute. So we're going to start working on the skull next and his teeth, and we're going to shape up the eyes, and then we can start to add some features. Alright, so I got his skull finished, and it's not perfect, but I think it looks really good. And I have his eyeballs indented in, his little nose marked off, and I even marked off his little teeth. So all we have left to do is his eyes, his horns, and then we're going to give him a little collar, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. And ta-da! Here he is, guys, and I would have to say he turned out to be an absolute success. There were so many aspects of this cake I was worried about, right from the head being too heavy and the horns, and I wasn't sure what to do with the tail, but it all came together and it worked out beautifully, and I think he looks so darn cute, and I really hope you guys think so too. And I was actually thinking about making another Owl House cake, perhaps one of Hootie, and if you guys think I should make one, you can let me know in the comment section down below. Well, that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed this cake as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, you guys know what to do. Leave me a big thumbs up and leave me lots of love in the comment section too. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you receive a notification every time I post a new video. And if you give them a try, don't forget to tag me on my Insta at the Robyn's Nest 83. Thanks for watching, guys.